I welcome you all to the lecture series of the course AH2TU 201T History of India from 1947 to 2019 CE. In the last video lecture, we saw about the framing of the Constitution of India. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about integration of princely states to India. Once again, I welcome you all to the revision lecture series. Introduction to the princely states. So, what are the princely states? Before independence, India had over nearly 565 princely states. Each had different sizes, different population, and different governing structure. The British ruled India for nearly 200 years, and Britain had a very practical idea of extracting India as a colony. So the princely states and the British paramount regions are divided based on the convenience of British administration. But after the Mountbatten Plan, which discussed about the independence of India, these states were given two options. One is to join with India or they can join with Pakistan. So the India and Pakistan's conflict has been discussed in the last video lecture, and you can go and watch the video lecture where you can revise it. The integration of princely states was a significant challenge for the Indian government in 1947. Key leaders like Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and V.P. Menon played a major role in integration of India. The government was majoritarily helping the Indian government. The British government were giving all supports for the integration of the princely states. But still, some of the states like Hyderabad, Kashmir, Mysore, and Baroda have not decided to which country they have to join or they have to give their lineage. So this is one comparison of the Indian map before 1947 and after 1947. So in the India before 1947, you can see the pink marked states which are called as princely states, and the yellow regions are called as British Indian states. So British Indian states are mainly Madras Presidency, Bombay Presidency, Central Provinces. All these regions were under the direct control of British. But while the pink regions were under the indirect control of British, where they are directly ruled by the princes of the country. So in 1947, after the independence, all these states were amalgamated and integrated, and we can see the map on the right side, which is similar to the present Indian map. So from the map from the left to the right, India took a major transition called integration of states. So this is what we are going to discuss in this lecture. So what is the historical background? The princely states had diverse origins. Few of the states were formed during the time of Mughal Empire. Some of the states are Marathas tribal kingdoms. So they are not directly attached with the Maratha kingdoms. They had their own culture, their own traditions. Similar to that, many states had complex relationship with British. Let us take Hyderabad as an example. Hyderabad was very close with British from a very beginning. At the same time, the states like Jhansi, Awadh are against the British suzerainty. In 1857, there was a turning point in the Indian history, that is, the revolt of 1857. As the British began treating princely states as junior partners in the colonial administration. So British realized that without the support of the princes, we cannot rule India peacefully. So that is why they were made as partners. The problem with the integration started after 1947, where India was given independence. But all the 565 princely states of India was also given independence. According to the Mountbatten Plan, they were given two options. One is to join Pakistan or India. This potentially led to the fragmentation of India, which is also known as balkanization, where this kind of separation of states or fragmentation of states can be seen in the during the time of Balkan division in 1919. The fragmented territories and the economic disparities between the states presented administrative and developmental challenges for the new nation. Since India was being subjugated by British for past 200 years, the challenges were imminent and it should be dealt with strong hands. That is why Sardar Vallabhai Patel was made as the Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister of the country. And he was also made as Minister of States, the department which mainly works on the process of integration. VP Menon is also another person who must be credited, where he was the Secretary of the Ministry of the States who provided administrative expertise and crafted the legal framework of accession. So Lord Mountbatten, the last British Viceroy, also used his diplomacy to make the princes to join India. So these three key figures played a major role in integration of our country. So this is Sardar Vallabhai Patel, who is the first Deputy Prime Minister of India. So the government used two techniques. One is persuasion and conciliation. And also they used coercion to integrate the princely states. So according to the nature how the states resisted the integration, Sardar Vallabhai Patel and the Ministry of States used appropriate strategies to integrate the states into India. The instrument of accession is a document, a legal document which was drafted, and the countries which wanted to join India were made to sign this instrument of accession, which mainly discussed about ceding of defense, foreign affairs, and communications while retaining autonomy in internal matters. So these three states became a major challenge for India. One is Hyderabad. We all know that Hyderabad was already under the rule of Nizam of Hyderabad. It is a Muslim dominated region. And Hyderabad was integrated after an India's swift army operation, which is famously called as Operation Polo in September 1948. Junagadh was another region where people were ready to join India, but the ruler of Junagadh was a Muslim, and he was willing to join with Pakistan. So Junagadh was another state which was integrated in February 1948. The third is the most important and controversial state of all. Even today, there is a huge struggle which is happening between India and Pakistan because of this region, which is famously called as Jammu and Kashmir. The state joined India after tribal invasions from Pakistan, which led to a very first war between India and Pakistan in 1948. So let us see one by one. So what was the problem with Kashmir? So Kashmir was a princely state with a majority Muslim population but ruled by a Hindu king, that is Maharaja Hari Singh. Maharaja initially he wanted independence from both the states, but once he faced the tribal invasion from Pakistan, To secure his kingdom, he went and asked for the aid of India. The Maharaja signed an accession officially making Kashmir as part of India, but with one important article, a constitution article called Article 370, which gave ultimate rights to Kashmir compared to the other states of India. The issue was taken to United Nations, which resulted in ceasefire, and part of India's Kashmir is with Pakistan because of the intervention of United Nations. The Kashmir issue remains unresolved and continues to be a critical subject of international and domestic politics in India. So with this, we will end this lecture and we will continue how Junagadh and Hyderabad was integrated into India in our next video. Thank you for watching. Please do like, subscribe and share. Thank you.